Voting for Trump wasn't just a vote for the economy. It was a vote against the diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives that have been poisoning our country. Thank God affirmative action is gone. However, it's still an embarrassing thing that is in our system for the hiring process, advertisements, movies, etc. If you fill out an application and ask for your race and gender, in general, if you choose African American and female, you'll automatically be a leg up from the other candidates that have applied. That's because certain corporations think if they have forced inclusivity, that will lead every gender and race to choose their product. Unfortunately, when you go out of your way to lift a group up, you end up leaving another group behind. That's why merit is the only way to correctly choose a candidate. And if you have a group of only white people, that's not because the company is racist. It's because those individuals happen to be better than the other groups. And if you truly want to have equal representation, you wouldn't have 50-50 black people. It'd be like 12% of hires for African Americans, but different areas have different representation. That's why I always roast Target for only having black lesbians in the advertisements, because not only do they act like they're in Africa mixed with McDonald's because of the size of the individuals, not roasting them, they act like pleasing the LGBT groups is going to improve their sales. But the reality is that it makes conservatives not want to shop there, and even average Joes, and roll their eyes because this forced representation is so fake, and even people like Democrat and anti-Trumper Bill Maher is sick of DEI.
The Nixon administration was not an unsuccessful administration before Watergate, and said, you got to go with the man who has results. Now, I don't remember exactly what the economy was with Nixon. I was 13, but that attitude, that idea, I admire so much, as opposed to the virtue signaling and the stuff that they do just to make themselves feel better about being ally. You know what? You want to be a good ally? Address the actual problems. Any racial problem in this country is not addressed by DEI and having programs like that. It's three things, and John McWhorter, the great African-American writer, names them. Better schools, don't graduate kids who don't know anything and have no skills, more dads, and the drug war. Those are the practical things, and that's not what they care about talking about.
Right.
He's absolutely right. Things like reparations don't solve the racial economic divide. The only thing that really does is ending the baby mama epidemic, where young black women get pregnant early, the father leaves and wants nothing to do with them, and you're left with a single parent household barely getting by. Father absence is a major predictor for violence. Fatherless families are 4 times more likely to live in poverty. 70% of juveniles come from single-parent homes. 82% of school shootings came from single-parent homes or an unstable family environment. Children who feel closeness to their father are 80% less likely to spend time in jail. 75% of adolescent patients in substance abuse centers are from fatherless homes. Of America's 2 million prisoners, over 800,000 are parents and 92% are fathers. I mean, we can go on and on. The reality is, if you don't solve the cultural issue of the broken families in the African American community, you're just blowing smoke up your rear end. But speaking of having to change culture, Bill Maher is getting tired of liberal culture of not speaking to your family on Thanksgiving or Christmas if you voted for Trump.
Like today, we live in this time when you're not allowed to have friends from the other side or cross lines politically. And I forgot that there's an example of that way back when. A guy who crossed lines politically. Ooh, the worst thing you could ever do, be friends with a Republican? Call 911. This is what I fucking hate about the left. Like, and they're not going to get me over to the Trump side, which they think they will sometimes. But just the idea that, cut your family off for Thanksgiving if they voted for the wrong guy. Off, you.
This is why I believe social media can be used as a weapon by other countries. If you take, for example, TikTok, that's owned by China, it can promote influencers that are anti-family, pro-trans. That's the key to burning Western civilization. Divide us from within so that they can strike us at our most vulnerable. And also a tactical way for Democrats to keep power, convincing African Americans that they are for them. We have all these government programs that will benefit them and that will enslave them into the system so that they can't operate independently, and then they can still get like 80% of their vote.